And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to our second match of the broadcast here. Welcome back to our second series. As you can see here, welcome back to our TvT. We just wrapped up with Byun versus Lemon. Now we have returned with our Terran versus Terran matchup, Ryung versus HeRoMaRinE versus Big Gabe. Here we go. Our TvTs are upon us, and it looks like, vetoes are done. Looks like the vetoes are done. We are going to be jumping on in. As a reminder, it's going to be best of five. Best of five between HeRoMaRinE and Ryung. Do you have Game 1, Leylines, Game 2, Ultra Love, Game 3, Pylon, Game 4, Tokamak, Game 5, Maganatha. Here we go. We've gotten rid of some of the more unorthodox maps in Torches and Last Fantasy, but going to be embracing some of the more larger and more standard maps. A couple of smaller maps sprinkled in there, don't get me wrong, and we'll see how our players will approach this. I mentioned this before, coming into this Ryung, he's known for his TvT. Ryung is one of the reasons why Clem no longer plays Terran, why Clem did switch to PvT instead, and he just bullied him out of the TvT matchup. Ryung is one of the big culprits as to the reason why that happened, and we'll see if he can do that again. We'll see if he can bully another Terran out of playing Terran. As spawning in the bottom hand corner of Leylines, we have the German Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Team Mouse. It is HeRoMaRinE. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Ryung. It is. Oh yeah, the tuna Terran. Yeah. That's what they were waiting for. Let's go. Let's go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamma time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as predictions are on the way. Here we go. So predictions are open. Place your bets. Best of luck in the chat with your predictions. And again, I'm excited to see. I'm curious to see what Gabe has been cooking, what he has been bringing, or what he's going to bring to the table here in this TvT. As I mentioned before, I feel like historically European TvT has been a little bit weaker, has been a little bit less at the forefront of people's minds. Again, especially in recent years, you know, Korea has been kind of the mecca of Terran, with players like Ryung, Gumiho, Bunny, Maru, Byun, all kind of duking it out amongst each other in all those TvTs. But we'll see. We'll see what Gabe brings to the table here. Let's go. I'm here for it. I'm ready for it. When it comes to Ryung's CVT, he can play Bio, he can play Mech. Like, Mech is also going to be a viable option here for Ryung. Bear that in mind. He does mix it in every now and then. So both are going to be viable. For the time being, economic openers. So Racks expand out of Ryung, Racks expand out of HeRoMaRinE. So far, mirrored builds. Ryung, his own CC is a little bit off center, so he's going to have to lift and land. Outside of that, mirrored builds. As there's no proxy, no shenanigans early on. Not this time. Not yet. As we are following up, again, so far everything looking as it should. So far everything looking standard. Ooh, I say that very fast third CC here out of HeRoMaRinE. Okay, the first big sign of deviation, the first big move. Gabe rushes into a third. And if this goes unscouted, if this goes unpunished, this can allow Gabe to take a massive lead in the mid game specifically. So hyper greed out of Gabe. Double Reaper here was natural, delays, ooh, barely does delay the CC, nice pickup. So nice little start here for Ryung, but little does he know that, hey, to make up for that, third CC. So he's still in the dark. Command Center is halfway done at this point. Now, even though this base is going to be completed very quickly here for Gabe, he's not going to land on location anytime soon. The goal here is to make SCVs and make 3 SCVs at a time to saturate that much faster, to build up a greater economy faster as well, to eventually expand. So again, he should not be landing on location anytime soon, but he will still reap the rewards of a third command center. Meanwhile, third base on the way for Ryung. He's actually not too far behind in terms of the timing of his own third. So he's playing catch-up. From here, getting to his own 1-1-1 setup. And it is going to be a slightly faster starport for Ryung. So faster starport, getting into Ravens. Ravens, of course, they play a big part here in the early to mid game of TvT. I mean, really, all phases of TvT. Ravens, they do allow players to break siege lines, to be more aggressive, to catch out an army. Second ranks, we have confirmation is going to be Bio, so Bio out of Ryung, not Mech. Was there ever any doubts? The answer is yes. there was. But at least this time, Ryung playing Bio. Likewise, trading with the Cyclones. Better trade here from Ryung. Nicely done. Takes down the Cyclone. So Ryung does out. Oh, Jesus. I knew that he was out trading, not by that much. So better efficiency here from Ryung. Much better. Behind this, getting into the Lee base, better upgrades here, so faster E-base out of Ryung. Faster 1-1, stronger timing is going to be available. But only by a couple of seconds. Yeah, only by a couple of seconds. A lot of this will just come down to the engage. Come down to the siege lines, come down to the interference matrices. Here we go. And despite the fact that Gabe had the faster third base, Ryung is going to be the first to land. So Ryung, he does land on location. Likewise, moving out with the Reaper Hellion. Sorry, Reaper Cyclone. Just to keep an eye on Gabe. Just keep an eye on him. Oh! Brutal lock-ons. Doesn't quite get the Raven. But does get eyes on the third, so he's aware of the timing of the expansion. Pulling away. Again, working on those upgrades. 1-1 upgrades have yet to begin for Gabe. There we go, just now starting up. So there's going to be a small window in time, Andy pointing it out as well, where Ryung will have upgrades over his opponent. Love those upgrades. As Gabe is taking his gases. Building up from here. And the game is slowing down. The game from Mirai is going to be slowing down. Do have Ryung attempting some drop play at the same time. Gabe throws down some turrets. Sensor Tower is Gabe. He's just walling up. Walling up, he's walling up. We're gonna be here for a while. Let's strap in. As you can see here, turrets in the main, Vikings on patrol. Drops are gonna be denied, and I'm hoping that Ryung holds onto his boost to get away. Does dip in. It dips forward, spots the Vikings, boosts away. Same time. Oh my god! Gabe's him in. Hoping to catch those Ravens unaware. That was close. Calm down, Bobby. Calm down. As our players do back off from each other. Ryung claiming his fourth base on location. So faster fourth out of Ryung. Rotating over towards the would-be fourth of Gabe. And he's going to try to force his way through. Ooh, 1, 2, 3 Ravens go down. That was a big loss there for Ryung. But is it worth it? Getting on top of the tanks, breaks through all the Marines, and he will break through the tank line. They're claiming every single tank. Yeah, that was a crazy dive there from Ryung, but it was worth it. And he's done it. He's done it. He has forced to pull the boys. Tanks do siege. The boys going to be going down. And Ryung, he is breaking Gabe. Takes down 25 SCVs. GG gets called, and Ryung takes game number 1. Whew, GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. A very intense game there from Ryung. Again, from the get-go, I mean, things were still very close, very clutch, very tense between both players. Gabe with slightly faster third base. We had Ryung picking up some workers and getting to his own faster third on location. Things were still very close though, but it all came down to that one dive, that one big moment where I was second guessing Ryung there. He went for the massive anti-armor missile on the bio army and then went for the triple disable just in time. It did cost Ryung every single Raven. He lost all the Ravens doing so, but it was worth it. It was worth the dive, worth the kill shot there. GG. GG, well played. One and done there. Ryung takes a lead. Yeah, he does take a lead. Whew. And again, Gabe, unfortunately, he wasn't able to spot the rotation in time. He wasn't able to deny the Ravens in time either. They were barely able to get close enough. Again, there's a world where if he was able to snipe those Ravens, like even a couple of seconds sooner, suddenly no disables on the tank, suddenly the game progresses, right? The game goes on, and Gabe even takes a lead because he would have had his own Ravens instead. But again, just a really, really clutch move there. Really last second decision from Ryung. And as TvT, you know, one misstep, one mistake, or one crucial fight, and that can be it then and there. GG. GG, well played. Ryung does take a lead, but now we're going to be getting into game number 2, and we'll see if Gabe can bounce back and recover as we are getting into Ultra Love. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we do have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Blue Terran representing Team Vitality, the Tuna Terran himself, the TvT Sniper. Arguably the best TvT in the world. It is Ryung. I almost lined it up. There it is. And spawning in the right-hand corner, we have the German Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Mouse. It is HeRoMaRinE. Looking to fight back. Now, as a reminder, it's a best of 5. As a reminder, this is a best of 5, so we do have plenty of games ahead of us, plenty of games to come, plenty of opportunities to recover, bounce back, and I'm hoping for a series here. What do I want out of this? All I want is a game 4, maybe even a game 5. Gibbs, baby, Gibbs. Tuna Terran, yes. Ryung, he is known as being the Tuna Terran. We've spoken about this before. There's a reason why our weekly tournament is called the Sparkling Tuna Cup. It is actually in reference to Ryung. For those who do not know, Ryung, his real name is Dongwon. And Dongwon is a brand of canned tuna in Korea. So the Koreans, the Korean fans of the Korean scene would often call him the Tuna Terran because, you know, his name is a brand of tuna in Korea. Tuna Terran himself, and infamously, and because that, like, a lot of his emotes, like on like Twitch or when streaming on Chijik, are related to the tuna as well. That's why people often spam Sabo in the chat. Hold on, where is he? There it is. If you check out the Korean streams whenever Ryung is playing, they spam the Sabo emote on Twitch. But infamously, during GSL, we actually had some of our CranKy Ducklings, or one of our CranKy Ducklings, go to Korea and actually win a prize for having the best fanfare at GSL, and it was a can of Dongwon tuna just taped onto a cheerful. It was great. It was great. Did win a prize for it at GSL. Did win a prize. Did win some free merch. But from here, we're getting to our standard openers. Again, economic opener out of Ryung. Meanwhile, ooh, double gas out of Gabe. Okay. So Gabe is going for a delayed CC, a faster factory, faster starport as a result, so a more tech-heavy style out of Gabe. Meanwhile, Ryung going for a more economic start instead. Safety bunker on the low grounds, and we'll see what Gabe can get done. As there's going to be that window in time here with Gabe having the faster starport. Cyclone production has begun as well. So faster cyclones. Here Ryung getting his own 1-1-1 as well. and Gabe is going to be the aggressor. So again, because of the earlier gases from Gabe, because of the faster tech setup here, it does mean that he can go for this earlier Cyclone drop. Medevac's on the way, Cyclone's on the way, drop is soon going to be moving out. Now because of the opener, Ryung does have the greater economy, he is up in SCVs. The pressure is on Gabe to get some damage done. And here comes the drop. It is go time. Here's moving out, drop towards that mineral line, bunkers ready, but the main army is not in position. Yeah, Ryung is to the main. Gabe gets one SCV. One SCV goes down. Gabe from here pulls away. Not a bad start. Ryung rushing to a third CC. Reapers into the main base, they do scouts. I think Gabe saw the timing of the CC. He's not stopping. Ooh, moving out with his tank. Now, for those that are curious, for those that remember, here on Ultra Love, there is a position on the other side of the natural, on the other side of this cliff face here, where you can siege up your tank and actually lay siege upon that mineral line. So Gabe going to try to abuse that position. Actually dropping straight into the mineral line instead. I believe this is Cyclone, not a tank. Yeah, Cyclone. So second Cyclone is the mineral line. It is deflected. Dropping back in. Ooh, brutal tank shot though. Yeah, brutal tank shots. It's going to be a one-way trip. One Cyclone does go down. But the medevac should escape. It's going to be close. Oh, does barely get away. Whew. Likewise, double Reaper into the main. 5 SCV kills, not bad. Still sign 5 workers. Now, what's a little bit scary to me here is that 5 worker kills is good. Ryung's still ahead. Like, Ryung, he was still up in SCVs. Just now, we do see Gabe taking a 1 worker lead. And he does get 1 more SCV. Okay. Now Gabe takes a lead. Let's go. 10 ECV kills, and that is a second factory. Ryung is making it up. So Ryung is going to make it. Meanwhile, this is the position we spoke about. As his tank is within range of that mineral line, and within range of those SCVs. Now, Ryung with a faster third CC means that even though he's down, he's down 4 to 5 workers, he can recover. Raven coming in for a flank, going for the auto turret, going for the disable actually. Okay. Tank is disabled. Likewise, we do have another disable here on the second tank. Nice moves here by Ryung. And he gets 1, he gets 2 tank kills. Ooh, brutal losses. Gabe does set up in the main, getting some more SCV kills. Gabe likewise dropping into the mineral line as well. Ooh, is deflected. Yeah, does try to get a little bit further back. Still within range. Ryung, he will clean this up. He will defend. Oh, no, without losing more SCVs. There we go. 7 SCVs going down and a depot. Not bad. Takes down the depot. Takes down 7 workers. In total, Gabe now up by 9 SCVs. But remember, Ryung is making it up. That's what's scary here is that Ryung, he has been able to preserve his tanks. The tank count is built up. His third base now being taken on location. Faster third base for Ryung. Tries to move out, drop back into the natural. Gabe being so annoying with this drop. Is delaying the push. But this move out is terrifying. Oh, that's going to be another tank falling. Now, when it comes to this move out, Ryung has a massive tank lead. He's got his Ravens alive. You can see here, yeah, 6 tanks to 1. Oh, God. Like, Ryung sure is taking some economic losses, but he has a massive army. And now he finally breaks out, and Ryung does have the supply lead. Up by 20 army supply. And Ryung doesn't have to break Gabe, all he has to do is delay. If he can contain Gabe on 2 bases, then Ryung can recover. And all that damage, I mean, he'll be able to make up for that. Because he has a third base. Remember, Ryung, he's up in expansion. Vikings will shut this down though. Oh, disables, they still go off. Oh my god, once again, Ryung going for the dive. Disables both tanks that will siege. I will say that Ryung, he's a little bit too far back. Yeah, he's a little bit too far back with his tanks. He's very conservative with his tank positioning. Disables do run out, but he's within range of the CC. And that's all that matters here. The CC forced the lift. Gabe, I was concerned about him being contained on 2 bases. He's contained on 1 base. Ay, ay, ay. And again, I do feel like Ryung could have been a little bit more assertive with the positioning of his tanks. But regardless, he's still containing. He's still popping off. Gabe is still in a rough position. Tanks slowly leapfrogging forward. Yeah, nice spread here from Ryung. Very nice spread. Now HeRoMaRinE, he can try to jump on top of their tanks. It's moving out. Vikings, they can jump on top of the tanks as well. Like, there are ways for Gabe to break out of this. And he's getting across the map. He's sneaking out across the map instead. Thanks to Siege, I believe they're within range. Yep, they're in range of one of the tanks. One tank goes down. Marines, they run into two more tanks. Vikings gonna be forced to land. Boys are being pulled. Yeah, boys are being pulled. One tank goes down. Two tanks go down as well. Not a bad cleanup. Not a bad cleanup, but oh god, never mind. As Ryung, he defends back and still maintains his army. GG gets called. Gabe, he cannot re-expand. He cannot take his natural, and Ryung takes a 2-0 lead. Whew. GG. Yeah, Ryung with a massive lead here. Again, Gabe was doing a great job dealing economic damage, that is true, but the scary thing is that he was trading his army for economic damage, and Ryung was just building up his tank count, building up his mech army, and to the point where it got out of hand, it got out of control. He just snowballed out of control from there, moved out across the map, and Gabe had nothing to defend. He had two tanks of his own, but Ryung, once again, 2 games in a row with those disables, he was so ambitious and so aggressive with his Ravens, and he was able to disable, able to just force his way up the ramp, and GG then and there, broke the natural. I thought that Ryung would just contain Gabe on 2 bases, contain him on 1 base. Even more brutal. Aye. So again, quick moves, quick decision making there by Ryung. A very impressive counterattack, really impressive killer instinct. And again, this is what Ryung is known for in TvT. And again, this is why Clem no longer plays Terran in TvT. Like, this is why Clem was kind of bullied out of TvT. But it was Ryung. Like, this is where Ryung thrives. This is where Ryung is at his best. This is Ryung's strongest matchup, and there's a reason why many will say that he has the best TvT in the world. It's Ryung. What I will say, I do want to give credit to Gabe though, because Gabe, he had some really impressive aggression. But here we go, we're getting into our next game, getting into game number 3, and I'm hoping we can make a series out of this. The pressure is on, but sporting in the bottom right hand corner, we have our South Korean Terran player. We have, for Team Vitality, it is Ryung. That 2 not Terran. The 2. I'm just waiting for the zoom. And sporting in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the German Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Team Mouse. Down in the series, but it's best of 5. He has one last chance here to start that comeback. It is HeRoMaRinE. Big game. And again, regardless of how this goes out or how this turns out, I should say, give us a game 4. Give us a game 4. Give us a game 5, Fabi. Let's go. We'll see if Gabe can start that comeback. Meanwhile, double gas opener out of Ryung for the first time this series. Makes sense on Pylon. Pylon is a smaller map of the map pool, known for aggression, known for all-ins. So both players this time open up double gas. Here we go. They do open double gas. But again, I did want to give praise to Gabe, just because Gabe, he did such a he was so aggressive last game, and he was doing a lot of damage. Like, he was pulling Ryung apart, at least somewhat. I say somewhat because for the most part, Ryung, he was able to keep certain tanks in position to minimize losses and to maintain certain positions. But it was still impressive to see Gabe get as much damage as he was. Unfortunately, it came at a price. As we mentioned, like, unfortunately, he lost 2 tanks in the process. He lost Cyclones in the process as well. Like, he was bleeding out army, and it meant that he was vulnerable to that counterattack. He was vulnerable to it. Unfortunately, he was not able to zone away the Ravens to preserve his tank line. And the Ravens have been the MVPs for Ryung, both in Game 1 and in Game 2. We'll see if that is true coming into Game 3 as well. As we have our CC on the low ground for both players. Again, double gas, faster factory, delayed CC, mirrored builds. For the most part, Gabe does go for an earlier reactor. So early reactor out of Gabe. Meanwhile, later reactor out of Ryung. Ooh, so from here we do have Gabe going for Reactor Reaper Hellion. So he's going to be building up a mass Reaper Hellion army. Meanwhile, we have Ryung going for a faster starport instead and faster add-ons. So faster tech lab. No additional Hellions. So with this tells us that Gabe is going to be the aggressor. Gabe is going to be more aggressive early on with more Hellions and more Reapers. Yeah, guess what? He knows. Yeah, Ryung is aware he has to get the hell out of here. Does race back home. He needs that defensive cyclone, and he knows to be more defensive to stay at home. So Gabe, he has taken map control. He has map control. Despite that, Ryung, he peels off towards the main. Does get a full scouts. We'll get maybe one SCV. Not even. Does get a scout off. Does pull away. Pull away from here. Does likewise out. We do see Ryung catching out one of the Reapers. Impressive considering his lack of Hellion Reaper. Does get one. Here should pull away. Slackman picking up from Marine. Nothing major. Okay, we should be able to hold on. Ryung looking for another lock on. Yeah, it does move in. Oof. Trades out the Hellion. Does trade out the Hellion here. As Ryung, he wants another Hellion himself. Oh no! Miscontrol there out of Ryung. And Gabe holds. Gabe does hold. A brutal loss there for Ryung. From here has to back off, and both players just building up towards the tank armies. Tanks on the way for Ryung. Ravens as well. Back at home, does Ryung set up in time? It's going to be close. Does have the auto turret. Good drop into the main. Gabe pushing in. Turret gets thrown down. Ryung will hold. Tank has arrived. And across the map, does snipe the pylon. Sorry, does snipe the depot. Oh, Gabe making it up. Okay. Extra factories. Oof. Extra factories here out of Gabe. Does go into mech. Meanwhile, Ryung throwing down a faster third CC. So Ryung is going to get ahead economically. Meanwhile, Gabe is doubling down into the mech. And the drop into the main base here that Ryung went for, I don't think he saw the extra factories. Yeah, I believe they were a little bit too far back. I don't think he's fully aware. But now it is time for Gabe to make it happen. Meanwhile, Ryung already working on his own Viking production, working on air control. Based on Ryung's setup, he might also go for extra factories. We'll see. We might see mech versus mech. Oh no, second racks. Okay, bio. Second and third racks is going to be bio tank versus mech instead. A different dynamic. Okay, he scans. He did see the main. There we go. That's what I was curious about, making his way towards said main base. And I believe barely, okay, within vision, thankfully. It's within vision, does pull back. And nice disables here on the tanks. The counter disables though. Let's go. There's still a tank there. There's still a tank within range, and Ryung, he will lose both tanks. Better trade for Gabe. Shuts down Ryung. Force it back off. Now behind this, remember, Ryung, he did have the faster third base, so he has the better economy, but now is the time. Let's go. Here we go. We have a massive tank lead. Gabe is pushing. Now we did just spend some disables earlier on, so his Ravens are not going to be as impactful in this next fight, but he might not need them to be. You know, Ryung, he's setting up here at his natural, has yet to expand, has a third base, but not on location. And again, right now, Ryung is vulnerable. Ryung is vulnerable. Does spot the army. Tank flow is going off. And Gabe just goes to the dive. He just dives in regardless. Has a massive tank lead. And with that, he will break through the tank line. And we are looking to make a series out of this. Let's go. Tanks are pushing in. Again, Ryung is down to one tank. Stim is finishing, but not enough fire. Not enough Marines. The tanks are slowly pushing forward here. Taking down another, and Ryung, he has nothing left on the low ground. What does Ryung have? Vikings. You can see here he has like, what, 8 Vikings? He has so many Vikings, but that means nothing. That does nothing here to the army. Does disable, boys are being pulled. It looks like Ryung, he will break this. But it'll cost him so many SCVs. 25 SCVs going to be going down. He stims in. Takes down the siege line. But I say that, there's still a tank left over. Still 1 tank left. Just barely. 35 SCV kills. And we do have a series. Thankfully, no 3-0. Not here. Not between these two players. And again, Gabe, he saw the life at me. He's like, you know what? Let's mech it up as well. Yeah, let's go. As from here, Ryung has been broken. Mule's going to be going down. Gabe pushing in. See Ryung trying to break. I mean, he will break through those tanks. True. Breaks through the tanks. The army supply here is actually quite close between the two players. But the worker count is heavily in favor of Gabe. Like Ryung, if he were to take this game, he has to push here and now. He has to move out here and right now. The longer this goes on, the better it is for Gabe. And Ryung, he's stuck at home. Again, he doesn't really have an economy to work with. He's got mules, true. The problem, though, is that so does Gabe. So does Gabe. As the army supplies are still quite close. And there's still potential here for Ryung for a little bit longer. Before everything just goes in favor of HeRoMaRinE. Ryung catching out a Hellion. Pushing on the right hand side. At the same time, drop towards the left. Does scan, does spot the tank army. Knows he cannot break the third. It's not going to happen. Drops into the main. Does head into the factories, on top of the production. Yeah, doing what he can. Oh, God. Cannot deal with the Hellmatch. Drops. GG gets called. Gabe defends. And Gabe, he does fight back, putting a point on the board. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Gabe, he does bounce back here. Again, intense back and forth. And we saw that this time it was Ryung that did overextend. He did overextend. Ryung, he lost a lot of units early on. And and likewise lost a little momentum. Meanwhile, it was Gabe that was building up his mech army, going into a faster triple factory setup, into a faster tank production, of course. From there, did snowball out of control after winning that fight. I also want to say that the map came into play. Pylon is known for being a very small map with a very short rush distance, so after the fight went in favor of Gabe, bam, counterattack. Did counterattack immediately. From there, was able to break the natural and break Ryung. GG. GG, well played. So with that, Gabe does recover. He does fight back. And the momentum now in favor of Gabe. And can we make it to the ace match? Again, one more game is all that Gabe needs to force game 5. Meanwhile, Ryung needs one more game to claim the series. Oh boy. Here we go. The pressure is on. Now, depending on the map here, we could see more mech, even from both players. We haven't seen mech versus mech yet. We saw mech from Ryung on Ultra Love. We saw mech from Gabe on Pylon. Up next, where are we dropping? Where are we dropping? Just quickly double checking the videos here. We're going to be loading into Tokamak. Ooh, that's going to be an interesting one. Tokamak, of course, is one of the larger maps in the map pool. Larger map, longer rush distance, more defensive bases. And here we go, we're jumping into game 4. And spawning in the top right hand corner here of Tokamak, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Vitality, going for the proxy rack. Let's go, going for those proxy 2 racks for Team Vitality. It is Ryung. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, getting proxied, we have the German Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Mouse, fighting back, putting a point on the board. It is a HeRoMaRinE. And here we go, the SCVs are soon to arrive. Now, a couple of things here. First things first, remember, as we mentioned, welcome to Tokamak. Tokamak is one of the larger maps in the map pool, long rush distance by ground. Because of that, there is a high chance that Gabe is going to go for an economic opener, that he goes for a Rax expand. Thankfully, though, double gas. Okay, never mind. Double gas opener, safe start here by Gabe. Gabe is going for a faster factory, going for a delayed CC. Gabe, he will have the tools to defend, and you can see his rally. He is rallied to scout the common proxy location. So this 2 racks here from Ryung should not work, or it shouldn't kill. It could, you can still transition out of this. It's only proxy 2 racks, not proxy 3 racks, so you can transition out of this into a longer macro game, but this should not kill, this should not cripple Gabe. It shouldn't. I should emphasize that. But again, Ryung being a little bit too obvious here with when he would cheese. Like, he loses the game, he's up in the series. Now would make the most sense to go for a proxy. And Gabe, he reads it well. Does read it well. As Reapers are building up. And again, Gabe, he should be able to maintain his first Reaper, should be able to pull the boys if need be, once he confirms what's going on. Moves out, does confirm. It does confirm the proxy. Is aware. Behind this, he can hockey some of the workers to pull. CC is on the high ground as well, so very safe setup. You can see Ryung going for the low ground, there's nothing there. Here we go, the boys are pre-pulled. And Gabe defends. Still will cost him some SCVs, but he should hold on. And again, he has a faster expansion. Meanwhile, back at home, Ryung is transitioning. We do have the factory on the way. Ryung still massing on more Reapers. Now, there's still a chance if Gabe overextends, if he does push a little bit too far out onto the low ground, then Ryung can punish him. But that's what Ryung is hoping for. He's hoping for Gabe to make mistakes. Rotates over. Heli position. Yeah, heli volley goes off. Ryung gets punished. Reaper goes down. And this is a really rough start here for Ryung. You get a face check with the Reapers. Gabe has momentum. Ryung racing back home. He does get away. Does pull away, and Gabe will have the faster economy, will have the faster natural. So again, just right now, everything's just in favor here of Gabe. We could even try to land this Rax to block the CC, to try to delay a little bit further. You can see he's trying. You can see he's trying. Can he land? He can. He does land in time. Oh, no. Oh my god. Almost landing again. You can see Ryung just trying to buy as much time as possible. But this is still heavily in favor of Gabe. Meanwhile, it's going to be Mech here from the side of Ryung. Now, Ryung, he's rushing the Macful accelerators. He may just turn this into a 2-base all-in. That would make the most sense. Or he could just try to elongate the game instead. But he's going into Battle Mech. Now, Battle Mech is ideal against traditional form of mech. So if we do see a second factory for Gabe, then Battle Mech will have a timing available to it. Against Bio, it's a little bit more difficult to make Battle Mech work. Here we go. Max going to be thrown away. Third TC for Ryung. So Ryung, he's not going for the all-in. Getting his third base on location. Trying to gain map control with those Cyclones. Is he going to try to save the Rax? No shot. I think it's a little bit too late for that, but okay. We're here, pulls back. Yeah, the SC. He's going to try to save the Rax. Let's go. He will get here in time, just barely. It's close, but he will get there. Cyclones, I do believe this back. A better trade here for Ryung. Okay, does overextend. And it is going to be mech versus mech. Okay, so honestly, really good read here by Ryung. So mech versus mech between our two Terrans. Now, I was going to say really good read from Ryung if he does go into Battle Mech, but he's not. He did start some Cyclones, but from here going into tank production. So he's not really committing too hard into Hellion Cyclone. I can already see Gumiho watching this game and being disappointed in Ryung. He's like, Papi, what's going on? Did you learn nothing from our series? Feels Gumiho, man. Feels Gumiho. As Raxo said, of course, Ryung, he has no idea that it is mech. Now he will confirm. Goes in with a second scout. It does get eyes on the mass factory. So Ryung is now aware. He's now aware of the setup. Ryung, he also saw both tech labs researching, so he knows that there's going to be Blue Flame and Mach Field accelerators. He's aware that he will not have map control. But funnily enough, Ryung is ahead economically. Because of the faster third CC, he's already up almost 10 workers. That is crazy. He's up 10 workers compared to Gabe. Thanks to the faster thirds. I mean, again, like, he's fully saturated on three bases. He's getting fully saturated. We'll see if Gabe can break through. Pulling back to the tanks. Yeah, tanks they will punish. Oof. Let's get one Cyclone. And there is potentially, yeah, Gabe is pushing out. So we did speak earlier, if you recall, I was talking about how Battle Mech can break traditional mech early on. And that's what Gabe is going for. He's got Mass Cyclone, he's got his Ravens. Gabe can break this position 100%. Ryung maybe has been too greedy here. Ooh, nice counter disable. Does get one of the Ravens. Yeah, it does get one. Army trying to push through. Boys being pulled. It's going to be a tough hold here for Ryung. Does land the Vikings. Will clean up the Marines. And Ryung, he's barely holding on. Oh my god. Does barely hold on, but it will cost him 18 SCVs. You know what's crazy? 18 worker kills. Ryung still ahead. He's still ahead in workers. A very clutch defense here from Ryung. He was down like 20, 30 army supply. But he does hold. Whew. Does hold on. Again, the counter disables from Ryung with the MVPs. He was able to disable the Ravens in time for CC on the way. GG gets called. He was all in, no follow-up, and Ryung, he will take the series 3-1. Ryung will make it through to a qualifying match. GG. Whew. Oh my god, very greedy there from Ryung. And I'll be honest, I thought that Ryung was dead then and there. Like, Ryung had a massive economic lead. Meanwhile, Gabe was 2-base all in. He was 2-base all in, and Gabe had a massive supply lead as well. And I thought that was game then and there. But the counter disables were crucial from Ryung to be able to disable those Ravens, to be able to stop the disables, I should say, on his own tanks. And with that, pull the boys. Really important that he did pull the boys when he did. Remember, he also the SCVs didn't matter. Didn't matter because his opponent was all in. Like, he could afford to lose his workers. So a very clutch hold, very clutch defense. GG, well played. Ryung will advance on. We'll advance on to that qualifying match. Whew. Aye. GG, well played. And as you can see here on the brackets, we'll zoom in a little bit here. There we go. As you can see here, Byun and Ryung. Byun versus Ryung going to be happening up next. It's going to be a qualifying match tomorrow. Lemon versus HeRoMaRinE. In the lower bracket in an elimination match. Whew. So again, GG, well played. Ryung, he will claim it. Shout out to Gabe for making a series out of it. Again, it was not a 3-0. He was able to fight back. And again, like, I can see a world where that game on Tokamak does go Gabe's way. Like, he shut down the proxy very nicely, unfortunately. And again, the 2-base all-in made plenty of sense there from Gabe as well, but barely didn't have enough. Barely couldn't break him. GG, well played. With that, we're going to be getting ready for the next half of these initial matches here. Up next, Estrella versus Lambo. Let's go. We have one lone Zerg player. Oh my god. We have one lone Zerg player here in the brackets. And up next, again, Estrella versus Lambo. We'll see you soon after the break. See you soon. Bye. See you soon.